Hey guys, Brad Flynn here. Did you ever feel like your head was going to explode because you're confused with what your accountant's trying to tell you about this statement, this bit and that bit, blah, 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 and it's just, you don't get it. You sit there and you nod and you go, I think I know what he's talking about. This video is for you. I'm going to break down what some of the different terms are that we use for an income statement and parts of it. There's going to be a few different videos here to help you understand how to decipher what your accountant or your financial person or your chief operating officer is trying to tell you. So let's rip into it. First of all, the big confusing part is the income statement. It has got about 4 or 5 different names in and of itself. So let's go up here and have a look. If you see these expressions, what it means. So the income statement, like it says, is what's the income that comes into your business. Now, the other things that it's called are, of course, a profit and loss statement. Now, it very much depends on your country. In Australia, we call it the profit and loss statement, which for me makes more sense because it's talking about profit and loss, the bottom line, as opposed to income statement. Either way, they are the same thing. Sometimes you'll see it called a P&L statement. For obvious reasons, profit and loss. It's either profit or loss because you don't do both. It should be called a profit or loss statement when you think about it. Some of the other names that you might come across are a statement of earnings. Now, earnings is basically the bottom line that when it gets a little bit further down the track, that you might pay tax on once the accountant has done bits and pieces for you. Either way, it's a statement that summarizes how you've run the business and whether it's been made money or not money, a profit or a loss. The last one I want to tell you about is statement of operations. You know what? In fact, this is probably the most logical thing for it because it's the operations of your business. You know, the money coming in, the money going out. Either way, they're all the same thing. Now, we're going to break down part 1 of a income statement or one of these, whatever you want to call it, and what it means. And that's the bit at the top. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is the income and what some of the other names for it. So, first of all, income on that top line can also be called revenue. Now, it's an interesting word, revenue, because it means to return. So when you put stuff out into the marketplace, the revenue is what returns in the form of money. So revenue is one term. Sales, pretty obvious one. Yep, we're in the process of making sales to the marketplace. In other words, we've had an agreement. You're going to give me some money. I'm going to give you some services or goods. The other thing you might see it called in a business is turnover. All of these statements, all of these points here are exactly the same thing. Keep in mind that your profit and loss is your report card and think about the terms on it. We're going to look at all the different terms for all the different statements and help you really understand which ones of these statements you're using in your business and depending on what country you're in and how you can finally start to make sense of it and begin to ask your accountant or your advisor some better questions. So subscribe down below. There's a cheat sheet down below if you need it and it summarizes all these things here. Great resource for you. Jump on and get that now. But otherwise, keep watching the videos. This is the first one we're doing on revenue. We're going to do one on cost of goods, gross profit, expenses, operating expenses. Okay, so keep watching.